All right, Nyson. So in this video, I want to talk, and you know me, I want to hear everything, the good, the bad. I want to hear it all.
All right, Sean, I'll give it to you, man. So, first
Well,
off,
I know that you've been having some success with Deal Sniper, because a lot of people, they may not know the last video that we did. So I want to kind of preface on what's about to happen.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you've been having a lot of success with Deal Sniper. You've had some systems that you've implemented on your end that aren't necessarily part of what we've laid out that have been working for you. So I wanted you to tell me a little bit about how it's been going. Kind of start at the beginning, what your experience level was when you joined, and where your experience level is now, and just kind of how things have been going for you. Can we start there?
all right, yeah. So, what was the first question?
How did you start wholesaling? Like when you joined Deal Sniper, were you already wholesaling or were you completely new?
So, I was already wholesaling, but honestly, I kept having contracts fall through. I was doing traditional cash deals. I was not dialed in. I would just say this: like, I put money into it, but it was never like structured. I don't think I had like a proper approach to it. It was kind of just like willy nilly. I was just like, screw it. I had some money laying around, or I had some time. Let me just go ahead and do it. So that was that. And then one day I found Deal Sniper. Someone was talking about it on social media on TikTok, and it was affordable. It was only like $30 a month, and I wasn't
Well,
even.
I'm a little curious, if you don't mind, if I just jump in real quick. And I've heard this from a lot of people, but I've never, like, I always just hear it and then we're talking about something else, so I'd move on. So since I've got you here, you said you spent money on wholesaling. What do you mean?
So, as I told Sean before, I had a VA. So that was initially my first attempt at wholesaling. And so what we did was the list pulling thing that everyone
Oh,
did.
okay, okay.
And I didn't have the time to do cold calling myself, so I had someone do it for me. I had a decent list. I had like 70 leads. I'd only spent like $200 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is, I didn't have any motivated buyers from that list. And I'm still talking to them even to this day. This was like 2 years ago. And even so, they're still not ready to sell. So that was my first attempt. The second attempt was at PPL. Actually, I had some decent success at that. But the thing is, it costs so much money.
I've heard that um the each, what is it, pay per lead
Yeah,
or
pay per
pay per
lead.
click, whatever, is always like super expensive, but I hear that the quality is better. Is
The
that
quality
accurate?
is so much better. Yeah, like I think you can probably close like 1 out of 20 deals. Yeah, so
Gotcha.
it's really great. The thing is, it's kind of costly. I mean, there's some softwares or not softwares, but like marketing companies that have subscription based PPL models. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I did. It was only like $30, but the thing is, the quality is just a little bit lower. But you can still probably close in under like 30 deals or so. The thing is, I didn't have that kind of money. Like, if you were to add it all up, it would probably cost like $700 or something to get started. And again, I was still working on my school. Like, I'm still in school. I have a job. I have things to tend to. I'm even an investor myself. I have 3 properties, and so I'm always taking care of everything. And so I didn't really have the time or like the knowledge and money to put into PPL. So I kind of stopped that. And it was like for a month or two where I stopped it. I was just like, man, I feel like me and my business partner, we felt like we were just like sitting on our hands. Like we felt so unproductive. We just waste so much time doing nothing. And then one day I was on TikTok, and I think it was Mills or like Mills Estate. That's what his thing was called.
Mm-hmm.
He was on live. At first I was like, what the hell is this guy talking about? I was just like, he's just talking about he was just talking about real estate. He was like talking to all the haters, like, yo, like, yeah, they don't believe in us, but look, like we're actually doing deals. I was like, okay. And so that's when I first got introduced to the calculator. And honestly, I thought this deal stepper was just a calculator. And that was still enough for me to justify paying $30. I didn't know about the community at the time. And so I
Oh,
was like,
gotcha. Okay.
okay, a creative finance calculator that creates it for me and teaches me. I was like, shoot, yeah, why not? Because I never understood creative finance. But it's funny, when I was doing PPL, one of my first like 2 leads, they were interested in doing a creative finance, and his interest rate was 3%. But the thing is, I didn't know how to structure it. So I literally just passed up on it, man. It was so stupid. Like
Oh,
I'm literally
yeah.
thinking
You
about it
start
right
thinking
now.
about, thinking back about all the deals you could have closed had you known better.
Literally. Because now it's not just one avenue, right? The first avenue is cash. Now there's creative financing. There's, seller finance hybrid sub two. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm like cringing thinking back at it. But I joined the community. I used a calculator. At first, I was just using the calculator, right? Fun fact, I think I was like one of the first 100 people to join or something like that. Like at least
I think you were. I think you were.
So I was in it relatively early, and then off the get-go, Sean, who at the time I thought you were just, I didn't even know you were the moderator. I thought you were just Sean, the guy who's like extremely active in the community. You were answering everyone's questions. I was like, oh man, that's dope. And then out of nowhere, you reached out. You're like, hey, do you want to do one-on-one? I was like, oh sure. Again, at the time, I was just focusing on the calculator, not the community.
Yeah.
And so I got into the one-on-one. I learned a ton about creative financing. Not just that, but we also have the deal calculator, the deal machine calculator. So there's like 3 huge resources that come with the Deal Sniper package, I guess. Like the community, you have the calculator, and then you have the AI generator. And so from then on, I started in February, and even so, I think I started like mid-February.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my partner were still like a little bit lazy. We'd only do like 10 a day or something like that.
Lazy ass.
So that's actually how I found this first deal that we got. So we were just doing 10 a day. I think at the time we only sent like 100, right? Now we're dialing it more in with the VA, because I had some, I was approached with a really great deal. And so now we're at this point already used to how to send the proper email, how to properly use Deal Sniper, how to properly calculate deals. Like we know what the minimum is needed. Entry fee shouldn't exceed this amount. Cash on cash shouldn't be less than this amount. These are the type of properties for these type of buyers. And then at this point, we're able to teach it to our VAs. And so literally within a span of like a little over a month, I was able to dial in my processes for creative financing, dial in my processes for wholesaling, add a new marketing method, which is using on-market leads, which have been proven to be really great, honestly. Like if you're speaking to the right people, they're actually really motivated. The last person I just spoke to is a seller finance deal. She knew everything about seller finance and creative financing. And
nice.
She spoke to me as if I was like her child, It's so funny because the people who aren't entertaining, like they speak to me as if like I'm stupid or something. And then
like you're the enemy.
Exactly. But then when I'm speaking to the right people, which will eventually happen, it's so easy. Like she's literally willing to go above and beyond for me. And so, yeah, this community has been amazing so far. I've learned so much. I've met so many incredible people in the community and throughout the journey outside of the community too, like finding buyers. I'm building my own buyer pool here in my area. It's smart. It's amazing, man. And then also a great mentor, Sean. And then Sean's team, his disposition team. I'm actually working with you, with you guys right now. Everything's been great. That's another thing. You guys also do dispositions. So that's a fourth service that you guys have. So you have the dispositions, you have the Deal Sniper, you have the Deal Sniper community, and then you also have the calculator.
So let me ask you this, and I appreciate the cheerleading for the community and the for me and all that stuff, but what I really want to know, and not me, I mean, I know I have an idea of what the answer is, but what I really want to know is from someone who doesn't have all the knowledge. I know you came from wholesaling before cash deals, but correct me if I'm wrong, you learned the bulk of communicating with real estate agents from Deal Sniper. Is that an accurate statement?
That's pretty accurate, yeah.
Okay, so how has that been, the actual knowledge part of not just the community, but the video library, the trainings that are held, is that actually beneficial? And if it's not, or whether it is or it isn't, what would you add or change about it, honestly? Like, this is honest feedback I'm looking for.
Honest feedback, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's been great help, especially the one-on-ones. Not just that, but sometimes I find myself on the YouTube channel from these one-on-ones. I see other people's one-on-ones, and so I learn from that too. So outside of streaming with you, I also see the recordings of the streamings. A lot of the times doing all this with you and looking at the content from the Deal Snapper community, it's built a lot of confidence on the phone. Obviously, my reps, me putting in the reps helps a lot. Me calling people.
That's the biggest.
I mean, ultimately, that's really, I think, the main thing that helped me was just calling. But you guys gave me the foundation, and the confidence came from just calling people. So it's been great so far. I mean, in terms of what I can, anything bad about the community, I don't have anything.
Well, not even anything bad. I mean, I know that's kind of like an on the spot question, but I want, because two things. One, everything on the internet most of the time is fake.
Oh yeah, okay.
And people are going to watch this, and I don't want them to watch it and be like, "Oh, well, he just works for them, or he's getting something for it." So I want to hear like, and again, I'm a perfectionist. I want you guys to learn the information as best as possible. So I'm not the guy that thinks I know everything. If there's something you guys need or something that needs to be changed that'll help you guys, I want to know what that is. That's paramount. And then the other part is I want people to know that this is 100% legit.
I've been on the internet looking at all these side hustle things, and e-commerce wasn't even like a popular thing. Like before drop shipping wasn't even popular. Like the biggest drop shippers probably only had like 10,000 subscribers at the time. So, and I think that's when I first got my taste of like these gurus and all this bullshit programming. And at that time, like I was honing in really on my skill of like detecting bullshit, right? So when I entered this community, I had some doubt, I'm not gonna lie, but for the most part, I was like, okay, this is interesting. I mean, it's just a software I'm paying for. Well, what can hurt? It's not like I'm paying for a course or something like that.
Right.
But the more I got in this community, I will say, at the time I was new, right? I was like the first 100 people.
Yep.
I didn't hear anyone talk about their deals at the time, right? Now, obviously, it's a little bit more common in the community for someone to say, oh yeah, this is the deal that I'm working on. Like these are what the realtors are saying. They're giving me good input. At the time, honestly, I wasn't really seeing much of that. So I was still.
Well, that's because we went from 0 to 100 people in a week.
Exactly. So yeah, that's
no one had a chance to use it yet. So that makes sense. Yeah, now that deals have closed, there's a series that I'm doing. I'm actually interviewing people that have already closed deals, and those videos are going to be coming out here shortly. So now that more time has passed, yeah, it'll make more sense that we've got more activity in the chat.
Exactly. Like I think this is like what, month 1.5 or month 2?
I think we're just now getting into month 2. Or maybe we're a couple of days into month 2, but let's just call it month 2.
So now I'm starting to see all this traction. And I mean, even before that, I started to see like from my own results, because I wasn't just going to wait for someone to show me the results. Like if this was bullshit, like I wanted to find out for myself. So I went ahead and started doing it. I just started dialing. I started emailing using the Deal Snapper AI. And then eventually I realized, this is actually something that can work out. Like this is a genuine marketing channel that people aren't necessarily using. A lot of the wholesalers out there, they're typically just cash wholesalers. Again, now novations are getting popular, a little bit more popular, but they're still not that popular. A lot of people are still pushing that cash offer thing, right?
Yeah, cash is king.
Cash is king, right? I mean, the thing is, the only channel that people would know now, especially now that like a lot of these gurus are becoming more popular, is PPL and calling or texting or blasting from lists, and that's really it. And so a lot of the times they would tell you don't go on market, which is honestly true for cash deals.
Absolutely. But yeah, they are
exactly. So like, but when you're approaching it from a creative finance perspective, it changes your perspective on how you see on market deals. Instead of thinking, oh my God, I can't buy that, you're like, okay, wait, this can actually kind of work. So not only did I eliminate that like that idea in my mind that, oh, maybe Deal Snapper is a scam, like that's completely been erased. Now it's actually shifted my perspective on looking at properties as a whole. I can see both on market and off market properties as opportunities now. You get what I'm saying? So
absolutely,
it's been amazing. Again, like Sean didn't pay me. He's just Sean. He doesn't do anything like that. He just adds value to the team. And I don't typically talk about people like this, but you've honestly been amazing, man. Again, like I'm really honestly a skeptical guy.
Well, I appreciate that. And from one skeptic to another, yeah, I don't gatekeep anything. Like I'm not here to discuss anyone else's business practices or what they do, whatever business practice you do, if it's legal, I say go for it. Good luck.
Yeah.
But for me, I didn't pay money to learn the stuff that I learned. Not really. I mean, I paid in time and stuff like that. But with my personality, look, I'm just going to give it away. Like, I can try and find some real cool, articulate way to say it. If I have an answer to a question, I'm going to answer it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I don't need to charge anybody any money for that. You guys are already paying for the software. And that actually leads me to my last question. There are people who have Deal Sniper, the software, but they're not in the community. Would you, if they were watching this, and again, honest opinion, would you recommend that they join the community and engage with the rest of us? Do you think it's beneficial? Forget about if they should do it on like oh, we're networking, yay. Forget about that. I mean, is it beneficial? Will it help them if they join the community?
Dude, 100%. That's not even a question. Like 100%. Like you're
well,
doing
some people don't work good on a team. I mean, I don't. Well, most of me don't.
It's not about being on a team. It's about not just networking. I'm talking about the knowledge here. Seeing how other people are approaching their deals, because you're always seeing people ask questions about their deals or sharing about what they've learned. On top of that, you also have, like, now this community has grown so much to where there's not just wholesalers in here, but there's also buyers in there. There's realtors in here.
Yep.
There's what do you call it? There's a lot of JV opportunities too, possibly. So like you're learning and then you're also networking. It's like an all-in-one, And plus the resources, you got the contracts, you have the old recordings of people's conversations with you. The cheat sheet was incredibly helpful, right? Now that goes more into like calling someone. I know Deal Snapper is more about emailing, but that goes more into like calling or like communicating.
Well, eventually you're gonna have to get on the phone with a realtor.
Exactly.
Probably.
And so you can't, more than likely, because you can't really just do that with Deal Snapper, especially if you're new. I highly suggest it if you're new. Even if you're not new, I still highly suggest it, because the concepts of creative finance, like it's not complicated, but there's a lot of things to cover. And you can't just do that with just using Deal Snapper, I think. Especially when you get on the phone, you're gonna have to start explaining it, just like we talked about earlier. So yeah, I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. It's not Deal Snapper community without the Deal Snapper Discord. And
cool.
And like, yeah.
All right, cool. I just want now, last part, and I know I kind of asked you this and we kind of glossed over it. If you could implement any changes to anything that is associated with Deal Sniper, what would they be? What other tools could we give you guys to make this better, easier, more efficient?
Yeah.
Whatever adjective you want to use.
I told Sean this. It was there's this tool.
I'm Sean, right?
Yeah, no, I'm just talking like as a third person, because you're giving me.
This must be like a freak. I'm like, does he think I have a twin? Like, this world.
No.
I had a twin.
I'm saying Sean as if like this is an actual review.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
It's like I'm talking to, like, if someone were to watch this video, I'm like, yeah, like I'm talking to the video. I'm not talking to Sean.
Oh, okay, all right.
I'll just say you. Okay, I'm not gonna say Sean.
Because you were bugging me a little bit, bugging me out. And I'm like, oh, does he not realize I'm Sean?
Yeah. All right, so I told you last time, there was something I saw that was really neat. It was an LOI blaster. And
yeah.
Dude, that was insane. Like the power of Deal Snapper plus an LOI blaster. Oh my god. So like
I did look into that.
Oh, you did? What did you see? What did you see?
I saw how the only thing, and it is what I was worried about, and I think we recorded the video the last time we talked about this, but it was what I was worried about, that if someone wanted to utilize that, they would also have to pay for like a batch leads or a prop stream or something like that. And I mean, like with Deal Sniper, and this is not a commercial. I'm really want honest feedback. If someone says, oh yeah, Deal Sniper sucks, okay, cool, I want to know why. Like, let's dive in, and the video would be just as detailed. But the reason why we keep the price for Deal Sniper where it is because your alternatives, especially if you're younger, especially if you don't have a lot of money, your alternatives are shit. I mean, what are you going to do? You can pay $100 a month for batch leads or prop stream, and then pay to skip trace, a few thousand leads, that's going to cost you money. And then cold calling them, hopefully hoping you get one out of there. Or you can try and drive for dollars in a car you probably don't have and gas that you can't afford.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Or,
Yeah.
or if you don't have the money to do those, you definitely can't hire a VA. You can't pay for someone to get the leads for you and call them and all that. You can't. So what are your options? So that's why we made this, and we made it cheap. So I do like the idea of having something like that implemented in. I don't like the idea that it would now cost someone at minimum $130 a month to use the system instead of just 30.
What I would suggest is probably like this. Like, you're talking already to people who's closed deals, right? Like,
Yeah.
I remember watching, there's this one young kid. He was like, I don't know who he is, but he was the one that said he's sending like 100 a day.
Okay.
People like that, you could funnel into their program like right after they close their first deal. Suggest like, hey, set aside 130 or a couple months worth of this to truly level up the marketing outreach. I mean,
so you mean have like we were talking about before, have a Deal Sniper basic and then a Deal Sniper
yeah,
advanced.
exactly. It doesn't like the Deal Sniper, this Deal Sniper, this is just for people starting off and wants to start closing deals. Then of course let them funnel into that. I mean, $100, 130, like that's nothing compared to like a $10,000 assignment fee, bro. That's
No, I get it. But I am someone that grew up from humble beginnings, which is just a fancy way of saying I was poor as hell. So I know what it's like to want to use the coolest tool, but you can't afford it, or have the new toy, but you can't afford it. But I do think that putting something on a tiered system like that maybe will be beneficial. So if people want to step their game up, they can. And I don't mean step their game up. Like, you can still crush it just using Deal Sniper as it is right now. But if they wanted to go to the next level, so to speak, then yeah, maybe we can set something up like that. I got to talk to the developers anyway and see, how feasible this all is. Because again, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, no, 100% completely agree. I mean, Deal Sniper in and of itself is already such a great ROI, like literally, so it's amazing. Like, if you really put in the effort, I think it's amazing ROI. So, and again, like, it's a beginner friendly. So I agree with that. Yeah, you're still gonna have to pay on top of the 130 subscription for the, let's just say, Deal Sniper Plus. You still have to purchase batch leads.
Yeah.
The list, or prop wire. That's another $100. So yeah, no, I completely understand what you're saying. It's not going to be the most beginner friendly, but at the same time, I think a lot of beginners nowadays do have some money to spend. Now, obviously, I don't know how you'd feel about people just spending the last of what they got. Obviously, that's not right.
Yeah, I don't like that. I'd rather not.
Yeah.
That's people always, I get DMs all the time. Sean, how much is a one-on-one? What do you mean? It's free. I'm here. Like, let's talk.
That's
people want to, if you guys want to show me appreciation for all the stuff that I do, like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because that's actually turning into something cool that I didn't intend. So yeah, do that.
Dude, you should do a meetup like a year or half a year with your community if things go well, which
just like throw like a big ass party, like Central United
States,
just like
a community meetup. Yeah, plus like we all would love to meet you, bro. Like,
that would be kind of sick.
That would be very sick. Not just kind of.
So, yeah, I have to think about something like that. That'd actually be kind of cool.
Yeah, or maybe you can get meals on board, and then you can also get that other guy. There's that other kid that's also wholesaling or promoting this.
Calvin.
Yeah, Calvin Quinton. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's the one that helped build this.
Oh, really? So
yeah, that's
if you don't mind me asking, what's your relationship to this project?
What do you mean? I run the Discord, I run the training, and the acquisitions and the dispositions.
Okay, I see. So you weren't involved in creating the actual software or the actual like initial stages of this product?
Like writing the code? No. But conceptualizing the idea? Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's what I meant. Conceptualizing the idea. Okay. Got it. Yeah. That also, another thing that you've taught me is communication skills, honestly. Integrity, honesty, and hearing you speak too. You're very fluid with how you speak. You speak what's on your mind, but appropriately, and you get the ideas across very well. It's something that I'm learning, and hearing you speak, it's honestly helped a lot, honestly speaking, man.
Well, good. I'm glad. I'm always going to advocate just being honest because I'm lazy. I'm lazy. I don't want to remember what I told this person and then I told this person something different and that person something different. No, man. I don't have the bandwidth for all that. I'll just tell you how it is, and if you don't like it, well, bye. Like, you know what I mean? Sorry.
Yep.
I'm not here to please you. I'm here to tell you the truth. If you don't like it, well, bye. You know what I mean?
Exactly, man. So I mean, yeah, I mean
Well,
that's all.
I appreciate all of the info. I appreciate the fact that this turned into a little bit of a commercial for Deal Sniper, but as long as that was your 100% honest opinion, I ain't mad at it.
100% honest, guys. Money back guaranteed if it's not.
I appreciate that, dude. Keep crushing it. Let me know if you need help with anything else. I'll talk to you later.
All right, Sean. Thank you so much. Have a good day, man.
You too. See ya.